How I Wrote Car Ride Revelation, my seventh single release. During my adult period in my late 30s, when I began to try to write music seriously to release, this was the very first song that I wrote. I sat down with my newly bought recorder, my Tascam 8-track recorder, which I have featured in other videos. And I had a keyboard, I had a clarinet, and I had my voice. And I said, let's just see what I can do. And many of the parts on this song are the original parts where I just push record and just made stuff up on the piano. And then push record again and made more stuff up on the piano, and that was a different track. And all of the piano tracks are just the improv original line that I laid down the very first time I tried to write something. The only things that aren't the original line is the clarinet duet was originally vocals. I just went through and I sang the vocal line, and then I picked up my clarinet and said, I can't just have four. I can just, everything's vocals. So I changed it to clarinet. And so what I did is I would go section by section and kind of run through and find where the notes were that I was playing in during those sections, and then I would go through and just try to repeat the melody on the clarinet. So the clarinet lines are and aren't the original improv line, but they're my first take of trying to do it based on the original lines that I wrote. So much of this is just the candid, what I did in the moment, and I didn't change anything. Which I really loved because it was really cool seeing how it all lined up and changed together. It was so much fun. The only parts that I did not make up originally, because this song was written in the very beginning of 2020 in the bedroom of a friend of mine who I was staying with. And I put it away for a really long time. And then one year, a couple years ago, I was like, well, maybe I should clean up the clarinet lines. And I went through and tried to re-record the clarinet lines, playing them nicer. And then I put it away again. And then when I got it out this winter, I listened to both recordings, one of the cleaned up clarinet line and one of the like original just go for it clarinet lines, and the cleaned up one just sounded terrible, and so I just went with the original ones even though they're imperfect. But it was, I think it's just because the whole thing is improv basically, and the cleaned up one is just, you could really tell that they didn't have that improv kind of soul to them. As much as I tried and as clean as they were, it just didn't bring the same kind of magic or whatever. So I just went with the original ones. Um, and I also added vocals for the first 3/4 of the song. Once I sat down, I was like, hey, I'm going to go ahead and release this song that I wrote 3 years ago, 4 years ago. And so I added vocals to the first 3/4. So the vocals in the last quarter were already there. But anyway, so that's a long story. I did work with a producer, with a music engineer at High Note Music. You can find them online. They do a lot of stuff. The guy that works there arranges all kinds of music, vocal, instrumental, and otherwise. And he's super, super talented. And he let me come in. And please forgive Anna. She's uh, anyway, and he let me come in and worked with me for a few sessions, so we could try to get it as close to what I wanted as possible. So look them up. I'll try to find their website and link it in the description. Like I said, he's a really, really talented guy. Unlike, he started in like concert band, jazz band, and he can play almost any instrument. He used to be a performer, and he didn't get into the technical side until, I don't know, his late mid-20s, early 20s, until his 20s. But so he was an artist first, and to me that was really, really helpful, because the one thing that I have found to be a challenge when I had to work with music people, technical people in the music industry, is that I do not have the same vocabulary, and I struggle immensely with trying to not vocalize, but put into words what it is that I mean and what it is that I want. And you would be so surprised how hard it is to communicate that, because all of your writing process just goes on alone in your head and you don't have to use words. And then some words will just have completely different meanings. And so, but this guy was really able to hone into the vibe and what I was going for and what I meant by certain things, because he started out as just an artist as well, as just a musician as well. And I found that really, I think that really, really helped us working together. So I did have it professionally mixed and mastered. So because it was just so huge, there are no words. There are like vocal backups, and then I guess technically the clarinets are the feature, and it's supposed to be real dreamscapey, um, and like something that would happen uh, like having a revelation, like going for a drive in the evening, and letting answers come to your mind. That's kind of what this is supposed to be, kind of like a happy, safe dissociation kind of feeling. And so I really hope that you guys enjoy it. Please do check it out. It is different than any of the other singles that I've released so far. And it was a lot of fun. I I don't know if I'll do more music like this. I do have an idea for an album of just all background music. Uh, so we'll just see what happens, because a lot of the stuff that when I first created doesn't have words anyways. But anyway, please check it out. It's really big, and as in there's a lot going on, and it was so much fun. And like I said, it was my very first try writing. This was the very first thing I wrote. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of it, I guess. This was my first try. So it's on my channel. So my YouTube channel will be linked in the description. It is also available at any other music streaming service that you have or can find. So any of those options. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. If you have any comments and stuff, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Okay, bye.